Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are taking a look at Hero 31, Overwatch's newest hero, a Talon member who is a crazy scientist. And no, it is not Moira. There are now two members of Talon who are crazy scientists. This one is our newest tank hero, Hero 31, Sigma. And when you pick him, he's got a nice little piano riff that you hear right before, or I guess not right before anything, just right after you click on him. It's a very nice thing. I love the detail that they have there just in that little bit. His bio, his overview, I guess. Sigma is an eccentric astrophysicist and volatile tank who gained the power to control gravity in an orbital experiment gone wrong. Manipulated by Talon and deployed as a living weapon, Sigma's presence on the battlefield cannot be ignored. So we're going to take a look at his abilities, and then we're also going to take a look at his story, and then we'll do a little bit of play as him in-game, in an actual in-game environment, more so than what we would be able to do here in the practice range. So let's take a look at him.
There is no obligation for the universe to make sense to you.
Awesome hero here. So let's take a look at what he can do. His primary fire are the hyperspheres. You can see them there in his hand. The description of these abilities: Sigma launches 2 gravitic charges which bounce off walls and implode after a short duration, damaging enemies within a sizable radius. So as you can see here, we can bounce them into those screens and whatnot. Tons of different bounces you can do here. They also do have just a range that eventually they'll just explode, so we just aim it like that. You'll see eventually they will just explode. We can test exactly how far that is here in a little bit. But if you want an idea of how the damage is done with these, this is 10 meters. I know it's more than 10 meters, at least. You can see if you just throw it right at someone, it will damage them, and it'll actually pull them towards you, which is an interesting way to kind of deal with heroes that are trying to escape from you. So you just hit them a little bit like that. Nice fun little thing you got going on there. So there's gravitic charges, and obviously you can bounce them into the enemies if you want. If you prefer to do that, rather than just do what you would normally do, aiming right at them. You have that ability. Next is his experimental barrier. As mentioned, he is a tank hero, so he does have a barrier. Well, he's not all tanks have a barrier, but he is a barrier tank. His experimental barrier propels a floating barrier to a location of his choosing, and he can dismiss the barrier at any time. So we'll just kind of do this. We're going to hold right click, and there we go. Now I can stop it right there, and now the barrier is in place. You can aim it in any direction that you choose, and it will stay until it is either dismissed by Sigma with a right click or destroyed by the enemy's team. And it's a very cool ability. I'm a big fan of it. So we can dismiss it like that with a right click. And now we can walk around, and oh, a far is above us, about to drop barrage, and barrage comes, and boom, just like that. You can protect just like that from the incoming barrage damage. It's a very cool ability. I like the way it's done. Makes his barrier different than previous barriers from heroes like Orisa, because he has a lot more control over where it goes, and you can kind of put it somewhere if you're trying to get around a corner or something. So you kind of can do this, and then your team can go around a corner, and then you can, once everyone gets past, you can just dismiss it, and you get it right back, and it can instantly be deployed elsewhere. His next ability is his kinetic grasp, which is his shift ability. At least the default is the shift. And what it does is it freezes incoming projectiles in mid-air, converting them into shields. So we will walk in front of these guys here, and we can click this. And as you can see, we now have 416 shielded. I believe the maximum is 400, according to Jeff Kaplan. He said that the maximum is 400, but that is, of course, something they can always tweak in the future. So that is his kinetic grasp. His next ability is a very fun ability. It is accretion. Sigma gathers a massive debris and flings it at an enemy to knock them down. So we can just, poof, and bye. Down he goes. And that is a very fun ability to use. I love it. Just chucking rocks at people is not something that you see every day in Overwatch. You can see not a very long knockdown, but still a knockdown. Finally, let's take a look at his ultimate gravitic flux. In the description here, unleashing his full power, Sigma takes flight, lifts enemies in a targeted area, and launches them into the sky before slamming them back down. And according to Jeff Kaplan, the damage done is 50% of the hero's max health when they slam back down. And of course, you can do damage when they are in the flux as well. So we're going to drop him here, and you can fly around and pick this guy up here, and boom, he comes crashing back down, and we can get him like that. I don't know how much control you have when you're inside of the gravitic flux. I would assume you can have some movement, but it's probably very slow down and you can't do much once you have been put in there. So very, very fun ultimate. I really like it. Very fun hero in general. I'm excited to see how he's utilized in different team compositions. What heroes would he pair well with? We see a lot of him paired with something like Mei or something like Zarya, where you can trap a team in one area and then you can lift them up and crash them back down. That would be an interesting thing to see utilized. Very interested to see how he is played by a lot of the pros in the Overwatch League. I think that would be incredibly exciting to see. So I'm hoping for something cool from him in league play. See, like that, boom, and it does damage. I guess when they're up there as well, because I didn't actually throw a finishing shot at him, and he is gone. So those are his abilities, just giving you a little more fun time to look at them. His kit is very, very cool. Let's take a look now at his story as seen on the Overwatch website. If you want to take a look at it for yourself, you can find it in the description, a link to his page. But I will warn you, I do not speak Dutch, and I don't know how to pronounce things in Dutch very well, so forgive me for any horrible pronunciations. But his full name is Sebron de Kaper, and he is 62 years old. He is an astrophysicist formerly operating out of The Hague in Netherlands, as we mentioned, I believe, at one point in time. And he is affiliated with Talon. And his story reads, brilliant astrophysicist Dr. Sebron de Kaper's life changed forever when an experiment gone wrong gave him the ability to control gravity. Now, Talon manipulates him to their ends. De Kaper was considered a pioneer in his field. His life's work involved devising a way to harness the power of gravity. Equally known for his groundbreaking research and eccentric personality, he conducted most of his studies from his lab in The Hague. Believing that he was close to achieving his goal, he performed his most important experiment on an international space station. But something went wrong, triggering the brief formation of a black hole. De Kaper was only exposed to its power for a moment, but he suffered serious psychological damage. The area around him began to experience strange fluctuations in gravity, peaking and dropping in time with his reactions. He had to be evacuated immediately. Upon returning to Earth, De Kaper was quarantined in a secret government facility. Between his ravings about the patterns of the universe, the psychic damage he sustained, and the gravitic anomalies happening around him, he was deemed unsafe and detained for years under the name Subject Sigma. Isolated and unable to control his powers, De Kaper retreated into his own mind. He thought he would never see the outside world again. When Talon discovered De Kaper's existence, they infiltrated the facility and broke him out, planning to use his brilliance and research to further their plans. In their custody, De Kaper slowly gained control of his powers. Now, gravity moved according to his will, and he was closer than ever to achieving his life's goal. But the same experiment that had opened his mind had also fractured it, and he struggled to keep the pieces together. De Kaper continues to develop his powers in hopes of unlocking the secrets of the universe, unaware that Talon is using both him and his research. And if you look closely at his hero model here, you'll see sometimes he'll kind of go wide-eyed and look kind of confused and whatnot, and it's really interesting. I really like the way that they have designed this hero. I think he, as a hero, in terms of his play, in terms of just his style, everything about it is really, really fun. His story is awesome. His origin story, if you did not see it, is incredible. I will link that in the description as well. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you do. But let's go take a look at him in-game a little bit. Probably jump into some arcade no limits matches just to get an idea of how he plays. All right, so I'm just here in a no limits game just to kind of give him a test out, see what kind of stuff he can do. Oh, my barrier was destroyed. Didn't build any barrier or any shields there. What he can do is just very fun. He's just such a weird, unique hero. I really like it. His abilities are insane. I'm gonna destroy my barriers. That's the smart thing to do. You can never run a barrier if you just play it smart, but I think it will come back with the damage. Yeah, see, so it doesn't, you get rid of it, it'll have the same damage that it has when you charge it, so it's good to know. Oh, and I'm dead. He's a very fun hero. I really like what he can do. I think his hit is very unique and very fun. I'm excited to see especially how he's used in contenders in the Overwatch League.
Equations were correct.
The kinds of compositions that are built around him. Because I think he's the kind of hero that his ultimate ability especially can be used in such a way that you can really pair it well with a lot of some of your major offensive ultimates. I am missing every single one of these. I really have no aim, as you guys can see. That is why I am very low when it comes to playing. Ooh, I guess you can't grab that. Guess you can't grab those. I'm not very good at DPS heroes, and the reason why I'm aiming is look at that back though, man. He's got a caboose, man. He's got a caboose. Anyway, but I think he'll pair well with a lot of really cool offensive ultimates. You can definitely, I think it'll be interesting to see kind of how he pairs with Zarya. I think was one of the most interesting heroes to see how he'll pair with, just because of what Zarya's kit and ultimate especially entail. Good bunch of damage there. Like die or not. Find a health pack somewhere, but I have my ultimate now, so we'll use that, and then we'll end this off with some final thoughts. But he as a hero is incredibly fun to play, incredibly satisfying to land some of these different things, especially like the rock thing. It is so exciting and satisfying to use. Oh, I missed! Oh, that's unfortunate. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Well, we're gonna end it there. If you guys have the PC version of Overwatch, go to the PTR, check out Sigma. Incredibly fun hero to play, but I'm ending this off here. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing.
Isn't it?
I'm sure I'll be talking about Sigma a lot more in the days to come and later this week and next week and all that kind of stuff. So until then, I'm going to get out of here. So thank you for watching, and I will see everyone in the next video.